Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions. Thank you again so much for our time together. Sister Pat is preaching the first night of Revival Nights at Main Campus this weekend, Wednesday night. And really, Brother John and Jason left this morning, but Sister Pat decided to stay here with us for the next 3 weeks. So we're going to take care of her, and we'll be having her speak in a lot of the different meetings and things. So keep your ears open, and we don't want to push it too much, but we do want to enjoy Sister Pat and let Sister Pat enjoy ministering to our people. Our people love her so much. Right now, I want us to go back to the book of 2 Timothy chapter 2. Have you ever wondered if Paul lived all the truth that he taught? Let me show you a case in which maybe, perhaps, he did not. 2 Timothy 2, beginning with verse 24. And the Lord's servant must not quarrel. Instead, he must be kind to everyone. Now notice, everyone. Able to teach, not resentful. Those who oppose him, in other words, there's going to be opposition that comes against men and women of God. There are going to be people that oppose those who bring truth. Those who oppose him, he must gently instruct. Gently instruct. Why? In the hope that God will grant them repentance, leading to a knowledge of the truth, and that they will come to their senses and escape the trap of the devil who has taken them captive to do his will. Now, Paul writes this to young Pastor Timothy, and young Pastor Timothy is young and full of strength, and he would rather punch you in the nose than be gentle with someone who is in opposition and fighting truth. But Paul said, no, Timothy, please. I know you're young, but you must gently instruct those who oppose you. And Timothy, you must not be quarrelsome. And Timothy, you must be kind to everyone. Not just the people that are nice, not just the people that are gentle, not just the people that are walking in truth, not just the Christians who are living the right life and then be mean to the Christians that aren't living the right life. He said, you got to be kind to everyone. But now think with me. When Paul was arrested in Jerusalem down near the end of his life and brought before the high priest, he just looks at him and says, you whitewashed wall. Paul just takes the guy's head off. Now, obviously, as leaders, these are things that even Paul, and especially us, we all need to work on. We need to understand that there are going to be people who oppose us. Now, Paul says here that these people who oppose us need to be gently instructed in the hope that they'll come to repentance because they're not living right. They need to change. And he said they have a problem because they've lost their senses. They need to come to repentance. They need to come back to their senses, and they need to escape a trap of the devil. Now, there are many Christians in churches that stand in opposition to pastors, that stand in opposition to leaders. And please forgive me, they are not doing the work of God. They're just opposing truth because maybe the preacher preached something and it embarrassed them because they know they're not living right or whatever. But these people who stand in opposition against spiritual leaders, they've lost their senses. They're in a trap of the devil. They need to come back to a place of repentance. So Paul says, Timothy, this is not a war. You don't pick up a sword and cut somebody's head off. This is something that requires some gentleness. This is something that requires some instruction. This is not something that requires quarreling. Now, there's a truth for all of us as leaders to work at when it comes to living.